my view on so-called apology. So, the apology given to Veli the other day was typical way of showing that Ekta and Upata have not changed at all. That apology was just like the one they gave to Motion. Their behavior, equal the way they behaved when they knew and realized that they'd have to apologize for what they said about Motion. Okay? So I was rather surprised that they chose to go down the exact same path when it came to Ekta apologizing for everything he wished on innocent children. Now, I think Veli accepted the apology. I'm not quite sure. I think he has, and yeah, that's up to him. But there was a lot of people left out of the apology. Me, myself, I don't need an apology from such horrible, disgusting low lives. I don't need an apology from them. Other people probably want an apology, but I don't. I just giggled my way through the so-called live stream that happened that day as Upta and Ekta lied their way through the live stream, trying to come up with excuse of an excuse to Veli as to why Ekta had wished such harm on innocent children. Now, we have to remember that the story they came up with to do with some Nigerian bloke was a lie in the first place. We also need to remember that said Nigerian person didn't want to go to the police because he wanted to, what was the word she used now? She said he wanted to go and deliver justice street style. Therefore, he needed an activist. So you see, what I always took from that, the day that she put that live out, begging for certain people to come forward and put themselves right in the firing line of nothing to do with me, when everything goes wrong. It wasn't me and Ekta. No, it was him. It was him, the activist, that riled up our friend, and that's why our friend went out and committed some violence. You see, that was the plan. That was the plan from the beginning, wasn't it? But not everyone fell for your story, you see. I personally still do not believe the story. I never will believe the story. Or why on earth did you hand over Luke's phone number to a man that did not know Luke? And if this man was so upset, I would have thought the first place to go was the police. Him not trusting the police, again, is a kind of typical of Upata knowing exactly how the likes of Jedi and Veli and Ultra and so-called thought about the police. Now, that's where she went wrong, because she thought that because these guys don't go to the police for, whatever, I don't know, she thought they'd be all too willing to hand out street justice on behalf of said man. And what did she find? Well, they weren't. They weren't willing to put themselves in the firing line. And they actually said, well, the best thing to do was to go to the police, which must have shocked her to her core. Because remember, she's asking people who she knows, do not go to the police. No, they like to hand out street justice, don't they? So that's who she asked for. And she didn't say to Dave, oh, Dave, will you come and help my friend? No. She needed to make sure the people she helped, the people she tried to get to help her, were people who did not go to the police and who she could distance herself from if anything went wrong. That's why I'm a bit surprised that Veli fell for her lies. Okay, but that's up to Veli. The only reason that she's even apologized to Veli is because she's jealous of of how popular his channel is becoming again. So she wanted to make sure she had a clear run to go on there. But, the day she arrives on that panel will be quite funny, to be quite honest. She won't last long. And I don't care what Hector and Jupiter have got to say, because it's all lies. Let's look at the first thing, Discord Gate, right? None of us, not one of us, needed to know about Discord Gate. And even after she'd gone on to, was it Brian Hurls, and screamed about how disgusted and angry she was and told the world all about it, she need not have mentioned it again. But what did her and Mooney do? Mooney decided it would be great, along with Jupiter, to run around blaming people without evidence. Guilty till proven innocent. That's what it was, And they went on and on and on and never shut up about this Discord Gate, which then made other people start talking about it, which, annoyed them to their core. Why? I don't know. But there was a lot of things that they did wrong that they should. I mean, we shouldn't have even known about it. That's the first thing. But you see, what good would it have been if no one knew about it? No, everyone had to know about it. And when she was saying to Veli, this was what she said, right? Well, I already had a case with the police, and I couldn't put myself in that position again, because the whole internet, had been ringing up and calling me a liar and a fantasist and saying it didn't happen. So I couldn't put myself in that position again. Hold on a minute, lady. The whole internet, it's this little corner of the internet. And if you had gone with your friend to the police, I'm sure that it would have been in your friend's name, not your name, his name, his daughter's name, not your daughter's name, and they would have took the case from there. Why on earth you thought that the police would be putting it all together as some major fucking case where you had to keep your head down because of what people on the internet had been saying is beyond me. Another lie. And then I heard Hector with his sorry, right? No, he didn't mean that. That all that has happened here is Jupiter has made sure she's got a clear run to go onto Veli's channel. That is it. It's no deeper than that. That is it. She has no respect for Veli, right? She has no respect for Ultra, and she certainly has no respect for Nine Ether. That goes without saying, or me, or anyone else. And that husband of hers is a lying, bigoted individual. as much as he likes to pretend that he's totally innocent and only said things out of anger, you got to be pretty sick to even think of that kind of stuff because you're angry. I mean, yeah, it's a bit beyond the pale, isn't it? Bit beyond the pale. But hey ho, I just want to let you know that oh look, that rhymed. I do not believe the apology was meant. I certainly do not believe the story about some guy knocking on the fucking door and saying, hey, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't believe it. Absolute lie. Made up again for YouTube fodder. And she went to the people who she knew did not contact the police for most things. And she thought she could get them involved in some sort of violence because this guy wanted street justice, didn't he? He wanted street justice. So, Veli can take the apology. Yeah, better to be peaceful than at war kind of thing. But I don't need one. I don't need one because I know the thinking and the psychology behind that apology. I know how they would have planned the whole thing, the apology. I know how she would have been sat there hour after hour thinking of a way of how she could possibly get back onto Veli's. Well, heck oh, the only way I can get back on there is if you fucking apologize. Because I'm so elevated, I couldn't possibly apologize. I've got to make out it had nothing to do with me. When in fact you were there saying, yeah, to Hector in the background, weren't you, Uptar? Because you're as evil as your hubby, aren't you, Uptar? So, yeah, that's my take on the so-called apology, because it wasn't meant. And if Veli thought for 1 minute that it was, well, yes, maybe he needs to go back and see how they behaved with motion. Yeah, it was exactly the same. No different, no different at all. As soon as Jupiter wanted to go back onto not Veli, sorry, onto Jedi's channel, up came the apology for motion. Yeah. And in that apology, she had to blame other people's actions for why Hector came out with what he came out with. Again, a complete lie, just like the story she made up for Veli. No different. And that is my opinion. And I've noticed the three witches have been getting really out of hand lately. Maybe they need to be put in their place. I think maybe one does, very much so. One of them really is looking to be put in her place firmly so that she stays there and knows she's not allowed to fucking move from there.